Hello students, welcome back to this video. So in today's video we are going to talk about something which is very much needed for transport of each and every material there in our body. So this is part of the chapter 1 life processes of grade 10 CBSE. Let's say if you're considering a city has people living in it. So these people need so many things for their day-to-day life. Let's say they can be groceries, they can be milk, they can be for construction of buildings, the materials, so different things. So these are all to be transported to the people living in the city so that they can carry out their day-to-day life and their survival becomes easy. Similarly, in our body also, there are different materials which has to be transported from the place where they are produced, maybe to the place where they are needed. So for that process, we have a special system in our body. Our body, human body, is a very beautiful organization of life, specifying each system with a specific function. So in today's video, we are going to talk about transportation. That is one of the most important life process which makes the survival of any living organism possible. So the topic for this video is transportation, right? Very important topic from both point of view as well. Now, the main component of transport system is blood. Before we talk about the components of transportation, let's talk about what all functions this transportation system does. It performs different types of transports, like it transports food, it transports gases like carbon dioxide, it transports vitamins, it transports hormones, it transports salts, minerals, and so many things. Now the blood, whose main component is RBC, the RBC is red in color because of hemoglobin, carries oxygen. When you are breathing, the oxygen is carried from the lungs to different cells of the body with the help of this RBC, which is a component of transport system. Now the WBC, which is part of transport system, protects our body from different pathogens. And the platelets, again the part of same system, helps in preventing the loss of blood at the time of injuries by clotting the blood. So these are all the important functions of blood or the transport system in animal body. Now let's talk about this transportation system, which is also called as circular system, in detail. Now let me talk first about what is this transport or circulatory system consists of. We can divide the components of circulatory system into three types: blood, blood vessels, heart. Right? So we will be talking about each of these components further. Coming to blood, it's a fluid connective tissue. It's very specific, special tissue in our body because it is the tissue which is fluid in nature. And that fluid component of blood is called as plasma. And this plasma has all the blood cells dissolved in it or suspended in it. What are the different cells of blood? RBC, WBC, platelets. Three types. RBC, can you recollect what is RBC stands for? Red blood cells. It's red in color because of hemoglobin, and it is the cell, these are the cells which transport oxygen in our body. WBC stands for white blood cells or leukocytes, and these won't have hemoglobin, so that's why they are colorless. And the main function of WBC is to protect our body against pathogens. Coming to platelets, we will talk about platelets in little detail in the last slide of this video. Coming to second component of the circulatory system, which is blood vessels. Now our circulatory system is closed circulatory system. Reason? The blood circulates inside closed blood vessels. So these are pipe-like structures through which the blood flows. Now these blood vessels are of three types in our body, which is a very important topic: arteries, veins, capillaries. We are going to discuss about these three further. And the last main organ of circulatory system is heart. Heart is of your fist size, it is muscular, and it is the main pumping organ. The blood gets pumped to each and every cell because of the pumping organ, which is heart. Okay, so these are the components of circulatory system. So let's talk about blood vessels in detail. So coming to this blood vessels, which I said there are three types of blood vessels, namely arteries, veins and capillaries. The most important word point of question is differentiate between the two blood vessels, arteries and veins. Now if you see the differences, or if you can see this picture here, this shows clearly the differences between arteries and veins. Let's talk about what are the differences. Both arteries and veins are blood vessels, but arteries are those blood vessels which transports oxygenated blood. What is this oxygenated blood? The blood which is rich in oxygen. Whereas veins transport deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated means there is no oxygen, but this blood has carbon dioxide. So veins are carrying carbon dioxide rich blood or deoxygenated blood. Coming to direction of transport, arteries are the blood vessels which carry blood, oxygenated blood, from heart to different parts of the body. So which means they are carrying blood away from the heart. Whereas veins are those blood vessels which carry in the opposite direction of arteries, that is, they carry blood from different parts of the body to the heart. So that means they are carrying blood towards the heart. Now arteries have generally very thick and elastic walls. Reason, the blood here flows at very high pressure because heart is pumping that blood. So that in order to withstand that high blood pressure, the walls of arteries are thick and elastic. On the other hand, the veins have blood which is at low blood pressure. So the walls are thin and non-elastic in case of veins. Now there are certain special structures seen in case of only veins called as valves. They are like doors which can open and which can close. Now these valves make sure that the blood is flowing in one direction and it won't return back. Backflow won't happen, and that is ensured by valves. And these valves are seen only in veins and absent in arteries. Very important point. And the largest aorta, that is all the arteries in our body combined to form a largest artery, which is aorta. Similarly, the veins in our body combine to form a largest vein called as vena cava. But in arteries and veins, we have certain exceptions. The artery connecting to lungs, called as pulmonary artery, carries deoxygenated blood. Generally, arteries carry oxygenated blood, but this is an exceptional artery which carry deoxygenated blood. Similarly, pulmonary vein, generally veins carry deoxygenated blood, but pulmonary vein, which is connecting to lungs, carry oxygenated blood. So make this point, remember this point. Coming to the third type of blood vessels, which is capillaries. Now what a capillaries is, arteries are little big blood vessels. Now if arteries have to reach to each and every cell, the cell, they have to narrow so that they can reach the each and every cell of the body. So what happens on reaching an organ or tissue, let's say this is an organ or tissue made up of cells. On reaching an organ, this artery divides into smaller and smaller branches or vessels so that it can bring the blood to in contact with each and every cell or individual cell. Now these small blood vessels are called as capillaries. And these capillaries are generally one cell thick. The thickness of the capillaries is only one cell. These are called blood capillaries. So why are these blood capillaries necessary is so that they ensure that the exchange of gases happens to each and every cell. Exchange of materials like gases happens to each and every cell of the body, so that each and every cell gets the requirements needed. Now once from the cells or the blood is used up, the oxygen is used up, the carbon dioxide is collected by again smallest capillaries which join together forming vein. So as you can see, this is combining, the capillaries are combining and forming veins, and these will take blood away from the particular organ and further process will continue. So arteries are bringing the blood to each and every cell, veins are taking away the blood, and the capillaries or the smallest vessels which are divided on reaching a tissue or organ is called as blood capillaries. So what is their function? They make sure that exchange of material between the blood and the surrounding cells happens. That is about the third type of blood vessels. Coming to the next thing which we are talking about is I discussed that one of the cells in the blood are platelets, right? So we will discuss about these platelets a little in detail because this is important from both point of view. Okay, so platelets. Platelets are also called thrombocytes. These are one of the blood cells along with RBC and WBC, and platelets performs a very important function. For example, let's imagine if this system of blood vessels, the tubes, develop a leak or a hole, what happens? All the blood will leak out of the body. Or think about situation when we are injured, maybe a small cut, so you can see bleeding. So if you leave that, the entire blood is lost from the body, that leads to death of the person. But that generally won't happen if you see this. When there is a leakage, to protect us, some cells in our blood comes here and close that hurt or cut which you had by forming a clot. That cells which forms this clot are platelets. So naturally the loss of blood from the system, which this system is minimum, but still if there is leakage, it would lead to loss of lot of blood from the body, so which reduce the efficiency of the circulatory system. To avoid this, the blood has platelet cells which circulate all over your body, and wherever you see a leak, they will go and plug these leaks by clotting the blood so that they stop the injury process. So this is how platelets helps in our body, by clotting the blood at the time of injury. So platelets, they help to maintain the system. So that's why they are important. Now in the we have to discuss more about the third component of circulatory system, which is heart. I will attach further videos where we will talk about heart, the double circulation, and one more important topic of circulatory system, which is lymph. Have a good day all of you.